Hello and welcome to Jack McLaughlin Oval this afternoon. It's the Edgeworth Eagles up against the Lambton Jaffas in round 10 of the PlayStation 4 Northern New South Wales NPL. Awesome to have your company. It's the second place side, the home side, the Eagles, as I said, taking on the sixth place Lambton Jaffas. Joining me in commentary, Damien Smith is here, former Broadmeadow Magic, four-time grand final winning coach. Damien, should be an entertaining battle this afternoon.
Oh, it's going to be a great game today, I think, Ben. But first off, I'd like to wish my good mate Chris Turner, who's left me alone in the box today. He's travelling back from Taree after a weekend at work. So safe travels there, Chris. But on to today's game. I think it's going to be very interesting. I think both teams line up with similar structures with like a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 sort of lineup. I think it's going to be interesting how the experience of Lambton match up in the middle of the park compared to the youthful, mobile Edgeworth 3 in County Moore, Lachlan Pasquale and Brodie Taylor. And finally, I think Lambton are desperate for points today because they're hanging down in like sixth position, so they'll be desperate to get some points today and try and creep up towards that top four.
And for Lambton, they have been ravaged by injury of late. Alex Palozzi out through injury. Kevin Davidson back today. Riley McNaughton still out as well, and Jamie Burns injured too. So a few big losses for them. But Reece Tippett returns, and as I said, Kevin Davidson back in the starting lineup, which a lot of people thought he'd be out for a lot longer with that torn tricep. So I'm very surprised to see him back out there. Yeah,
it's a great recovery by Kevin. But also, if you look at Lambton's side, they've got Johnny Majorowski, they've got Luke Remington, who was Player of the Year last year or the year before, and they've got Joel Wood in the attack. So they've got a very fierce attack there today, so it'll be interesting how Lambton's back four combat their attack.
And as I wasn't involved with the NPL before last season, I didn't know much of the statistics, but I was looking back. Joel Wood had an outstanding season a few years ago.
Yes, I think he got leading goal scorer back in 2000, maybe in 12 or 13.
When he was playing for Edgeworth,
Playing for Edgeworth, yes. I think he picked Peter Haynes, who was playing for Broadmeadow at the time. So, Joel Wood's a very aggressive and attacking player and can score goals from anywhere.
So Joel Wood coming from Maitland last season, so against one of his former clubs this afternoon in Edgeworth. So I'm sure he'll know this ground pretty well. As I said, Edgeworth this season, 19 points. They've had 6 wins, a draw, and just the one loss. They went down 3-2 to Hamilton here at Jack McLaughlin in a cracker of a contest. Probably one of the games of the year, I'd say.
Yeah, and I think, but also looking at the stats for Edgeworth, they've got 24 goals for. So that's like they're scoring like 2 goals a game. So it's going to be up to Lambton's defence or defensive shape to shut them out.
So we're almost ready to get underway, I should say. Our referee this afternoon is Trent Nash. He was in charge of the grand final last season. So one of the most experienced referees in the PlayStation 4 Northern New South Wales NPL. So we're just about to get underway. We've got games already started at the other grounds. We'll go through them in just a sec. And John Majorowski goes short to Joe Wheelhouse. Takes it out of the centre circle. So it'll be Lambton in their yellow kit, running from left to right in the first half, and Edgeworth in their red kit, running from right to left of screen. As Brodie Taylor holds it up and intercepted by Pete McPherson, one of Lambton's experienced midfielders, as Joe Wheelhouse as well. They've got plenty of experience out there, Lambton, Damien.
Yeah, that's right. Like I said at the start of the call, it's going to be interesting how the mobile, energetic 3 in the centre of the park for Edgeworth versus the more experienced centre 3 for Lambton meet up today.
Ball just over the sideline, down in Edgeworth's defensive corner, so it'll be a throw for the Eagles. Comes in, Pasquale, back for Bryce. Plays it up the ground, but straight to Sessions. And looking at Lambton's backline this afternoon, it is a very experienced backline, and I think they're going to be hard to get through. Kevin Davidson and Michael Sessions in the centre. Luke Willard, he's only new to the Jaffas starting lineup this season, and then Ben Hay as well out there.
Yeah, well, Luke replaced Reece Tippett when he hurt his hamstring probably about 6 weeks ago. But looking at their...
Has Brodie Taylor down the left, but he's just offside.
Yeah, looking at their back four, looks like they've had a bit of a shuffle. They've moved Michael Sessions out to left fullback, and Michael Williams has come into the centre. So it'll be interesting how Michael Williams and Kevin Davies combat the old fellow Daniel McBreen up front.
Yeah, Daniel McBreen, just the 2 goals this season, but he's had a hand in a few other goals this season for Edgeworth. He scored a great goal in the last match against Maitland 2 weeks ago. Edgeworth getting the win over Maitland. That was their first loss of the season, the Magpies, so no mean feat for Edgeworth to go up there and claim the 3 points as Moriyasu goes in towards McBrain. But just quickly, those other scores, as we see a mistake from McPherson going back towards Swancott, and it'll be a corner for Edgeworth. But it is Adamstown. After Broadmeadow led 1-0 early, Adamstown replied almost instantly. So it's 1-1 at Adamstown Oval. And in the Hamilton-Maitland match, it's 0-0 early in the first half there. It's the corner. Goes short into Brent Hamill. Back into the middle from Moriyasu. Sits back up for Pasquale. He hits the volley and just slides wide of the goals there. Lucky Pasquale.
Yeah, unlucky by Lachlan Pasquale there. I was talking to his dad yesterday going for a walk down at Merriweather Beach, and he said his son needs a haircut. So looking at his wavy hair out there, I think he might be right.
Well, he was nominated for Rookie of the Year last year, Lockie Pasquale. He had an outstanding debut season for Edgeworth and has consolidated his spot in the starting lineup this year. As ball down the line, looking for Joel Wood. Goes back to Jim Fogarty. Puts it over the line.
Getting back on Daniel McBreen, you mentioned he's only scored 2 goals this year. However, his influence and experience on the game, I think, is great for these younger boys for Edgeworth. So I think he'll have an impact on the game today.
His wheelhouse going across to Michael Sessions, who, as Damien said earlier, is playing at left back this afternoon. And Sessions, just a little tug there on Aidan Bryce, trying to stop him taking the throw quickly. McBreen, with some space in front of him, goes to Brodie Taylor. He's got Keanu Moore in the middle, but the experienced Brad Swancott comes out and claims that one for Lambton in goals.
And that was well defended by Michael Williams there. Brodie Taylor tried to push the ball through, and he just sort of checked him a little bit just to put him off balance, and the ball was swept up by Swanee.
Lambton last start, I mentioned Edgeworth got the 3-1 win over Maitland up at Cook Square Park. Lambton had a 1-1 draw with the Jets Youth, which I was sort of unsure. I probably thought they should have won that, going on how they were playing in weeks gone past. But the Jets Youth have really improved massively over the last few weeks, as this one goes over for an Edgeworth throw. The Jets Youth beating Western yesterday 3-0, and they're coming together very, very nicely. Yeah, I
was impressed with the Jets Youth against Hamilton Olympic when we did that game a few weeks ago. I thought they were a little bit unlucky to get 5 past them, but in general play it was pretty close.
His wheelhouse, playing a wide ball. Wood trying to cut into the 18, but Pat Wheeler puts his boot through it and up the ground towards McBrain. In a duel here with Davidson, who goes back to Brad Swancott. Yeah, Lambton held to that 1-1 draw. Cody Carroll with a very, very nicely struck volley into the top left corner before John Majorowski replied. It's Michael Williams. Goes across to Joel Wood. Lays it nicely back to Ben Hay, who's got some space in front of him. Goes to Joe Wheelhouse. Wheelhouse sliding through, still going Wheelhouse. Pat Wheeler with a great recovery there. And Wheeler decides the best option is to go over the sideline.
Yeah, that was well defended by Pat Wheeler. But just on that, Ben Hay, last time we watched him play, he played left fullback, Ben Hay. Looks like he's playing just in behind at the number 10. Picked the ball up in a bit of space there and did well to link up with Job.
So Michael Sessions, we know he's got a long throw. He goes in towards the chest of Majorowski, but Pat Wheeler intercepts it with the head. Back with Ben Hay with the bright yellow boots. Now for McPherson. Across to Willard. Stabs it at it and it goes over the sideline, just relieving the pressure. An Edgeworth throw. Those scores yesterday, Valentine, they got their second win of the season. They beat Charlestown 3-2 in a topsy-turvy clash at Blacksmith's Oval. Really good battle, that one. 2 red cards and 5 goals. And in the other game, Western went down again. They went down 3-0 to the Jets Youth. And Brad Swancott just hanging on to the ball now for Lambton. But Lambton probably with the best chances of the opening exchanges of this one.
Yeah, so far both teams are just trying to get into a bit of a rhythm. So it's sort of the ball's been rushed probably a bit too much in some of the passing, but I think both teams will sort of size each other up soon and get into their rhythm, as I said.
An interesting stat, Damien, I've got here is the last 4 matches between these two sides have been decided by the scoreline of 2-1. Edgeworth have won the last 3. Lambton actually won 3 of the 4 beforehand. So Lambton had the wood over Edgeworth since they were promoted, but then the last 3 have all gone Edgeworth's way. So it's pretty even now, the last 7 clashes. It's been 3 wins Edgeworth, 3 wins the Jaffas, and just the 1 draw, 0-0 back in 2014.
And I think I tend to agree with you, Ben. I think this game's going to be very tight as well. I think there's only going to be a goal, if that, in the game.
Now, Lambton's defence this season, it's been very, very good. 11 goals conceded. It's their attack that's probably let them down. They've only scored 11, which is actually the 8th best in the competition. 11 goals scored, and that's only ahead of Adamstown and Western.
Which is really surprising when you look at Luke Remington, Jamie Burns, Joel Wood, Johnny Madge. They've got some attacking forces there, so it's really surprising. But I suppose defences have been very strong against them.
Keanu Moore brings it across to McLaughlin. Aaron McLaughlin's ball looking for Brodie Taylor, who couldn't quite find him. But I think Lambton as well, they've probably been a little bit unlucky as McLaughlin takes it down this near side of the ground, cuts inside. Still McLaughlin trying to play a ball into Keanu Moore. Now Moriyasu. He turns and loses it to Willard. Majorowski back to Joe Wheelhouse. Coming across is Bren Hamill. He skips over the challenge Wheelhouse. Back towards Majorowski in the middle. Back to Wheelhouse. Takes it down that far side. Now plays in Remington. The man Damien was speaking about a moment ago. Here is Remington towards the back post. A little bit heavy, but Ben Hay will track that one down. Still Ben Hay and across towards the back post. Remington, but Aiden Bryce gets his head to it, and Keanu Moore plays it away back to Sessions. Nice to put it back in, but Aaron McLaughlin's there for Edgeworth. Deals with the danger.
Sorry, just going back on that play between Majorowski and Wheelhouse. I thought that's the first bit of football we've seen today, like a bit of 1-2 through the centre of the park. So it was well played by Lambton.
Here's Keanu Moore, some space in the centre circle. Looking for Bren Hamill, who's the captain today. Josh Evans out. He's away this weekend, but he'll be back next week for the FFA Cup. That man on the ball, Pat Wheeler, he's out next week for Edgeworth's FFA Cup matches, so be a big blow for Edgeworth. Here is Moriyasu going back to Bazari. He's back in Edgeworth's lineup today after being injured for a couple of weeks. Bren Hamill into the 18. McBrain trying to lay it off towards Keanu Moore. Lambton scramble well at the back.
That was a great ball by Bazari there to find Bren Hamill on the right-hand side.
Majorowski back to Wheelhouse. And his ball. Sessions will try and track this one down. He does so.
What I'm liking here about Edgeworth, see they're a little bit deep in defence. And from the front to the back's about 25 metres. That's very compact, very hard to play through. So you've got a very good, very well-oiled defensive structure.
Here's Joel Wood coming after Pat Wheeler, and Pat Wheeler just plays it back to Jim Fogarty.
And even there, see how they've looked.
As Moriyasu now takes off down the left-hand side for Edgeworth. He's got McBrain in the middle. Moriyasu. This time it's crossed straight to Brad Swancott. And now Aiden Bryce coming forward for Edgeworth. So some pressure being applied by the home side. Here's Bryce. Nice ball in towards the middle. Well dealt with by Lambton. It was dropping back. It was Michael Williams with the clearance. Aiden Bryce back to Bazari. And Bazari finds Moriyasu. Lovely touch to McLaughlin. McLaughlin down the left, space in front of him. He plays it towards McBrain. It goes through the legs, sits up for Taylor. McBrain on the volley. And it's this side of the ute on the hill.
I think Taylor pinched that off McBrain's foot there. That was right on his left peg, his favourite peg. So unlucky for Edgeworth there.
He scored off that left peg in the match against Maitland. A very, very nice shot inside Matt Trott up at Cook Square Park. And Brad Swancott with the goal kick in his second year at Lambton. Very experienced. 25 matches for the Newcastle Breakers, and he's played for Western, Lake Macquarie and Hamilton as well. And this is his last year at the Jaffas for Brad Swancott. I'm thinking it'll be his last year. He's 37 years of age, so a final year in the Northern New South Wales NPL.
I was just about to mention that, Ben. Yeah, talking to Swanee early in the year, he said this is going to be his last year. He's still got a young face. He still looks about 25 with no wrinkles yet, but he's going to give up his boots, give up the game, or to play NPL after this season, it looks like.
Here's a little touch on for McBrain. Played back by Sessions to Swancott. One of the most acrobatic goalkeepers in the league, I'd say, Brad Swancott, from watching over the last year and a half.
Yes, I played with Brad back at the old Newcastle Breakers days, and he was an excellent shot stopper. He loved a good old dive. So, yeah, probably one of the more acrobatic keepers in the competition. But he's quite nimble for a 37-year-old.
And it shows Lambton with the 4th best defence in the comp. Here's McLaughlin down the left trying to eat into that total. Goals Lambton have conceded. McLaughlin still going. Diving in was Davidson, but it's over just for a corner kick for Edgeworth.
They found a bit of space down this left-hand side, Edgeworth, so they're starting to look a little bit dangerous down this left-hand side.
Yeah, Aaron McLaughlin.
Yeah, overlapping down the left-hand from left fullback. So I think Jimmy Pascoe's going to have to look at that, look at his right fullback and see where they can close this space.
Here's the corner kick in. Sits up for McBrain on his left, but didn't get enough power on that one to trouble Brad Swancott. And Edgeworth just coming back into the game here, Damien, and they've probably dominated the last 5 minutes or so.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But you know what? It's very even at the moment. Like I said before, neither team's got they're into a rhythm at the moment. So, but yeah, I think the whole game's going to be very tight.
Here's Pasquale. Be interested to see what does happen in that match between Hamilton and Maitland, because depending on that result, and we saw a 0-0 draw in round one, they're the only side that they have played, Hamilton, that they haven't beaten. They've still got to play Charlestown, but still 0-0 there, as it was in round one. But Mick Bolt saying he feels like his side is a little bit more cohesive than what they were in round one. Kane Goodchild only came off the bench in that game, so he's starting for Hamilton this afternoon. So we'll give them a little bit more in attack as the throw towards Majorowski. Losing it was Ben Hay, and now Pat Wheeler plays it on to Brent Hamill. He's got Sessions coming in behind him, but Hamill gets away from him. Still Brent Hamill dodging into the 18, but his shot deflected towards Swancott, took a bit of the pace off it and taken nicely. He releases Sessions down the left for Lambton, I should say. He goes to Remington. Back to Sessions. Just to play it towards Luke Remington, but it played it into Bren Hamill, who again takes off down the right into Keanu Moore. Trying to control things here for Edgeworth. Keanu Moore. He goes to Moriyasu, hits it off his right and onto the post. Sits up for Hamill, who puts his shot over, but Moriyasu, it was almost another special from him.
Oh, that was a great hit. And I think it blind spotted Swanee. It didn't look like Swanee picked it out off the ground at all. So, and just quickly, just on Lambton here, they're bombing their left and right fullback forward, Sessions and Willard, and that's where Edgy's finding space in behind their fullback. So I think Jimmy might have to do a bit of adjusting at half time.
Here's Keanu Moore releasing McBrain again. As Damien said, down the left. Here's McBrain into the middle, but Wheelhouse gets back and cleans up. But he plays it into Keanu Moore, and Moore unable to keep it in. A throw for Lambton, but Moriyasu's shot was dipping and swerving all over the place. We had the perfect view.
It came from nowhere, sort of unexpected. He just had a shot. We thought he was going to cross from where he was, but he just had a shot, and obviously Brad Swancott wasn't ready for it.
And you really cannot give him any space at all. We've seen some of the shots he's hit this season. There was another example of it, only an inch wide, as here's Ben Hay in towards the back post. There's Joel Wood under the edge of the 18, still Wood in towards the middle, well defended by Wheeler, sits back for Wheelhouse. Wood again towards the middle of the ground for McPherson. And his ball should be tracked down by Joe Wheelhouse. And gets away from McLaughlin, goes back to Wood. Wheelhouse, still Wheelhouse, and his ball towards Majorowski, intercepted by Brodie Taylor, and Edgeworth again, a chance for them to break.
I think Joe be a bit disappointed in himself there. He probably should have pulled the trigger on the left foot, but he had the extra touch.
Brennan Hamill now down the right for Edgeworth. Cuts in to McBrain, who loses the ball, and Lambton come away now through Michael Sessions. But a couple of enterprising attacks from both sides on the break.
Yeah, the link-up play the combinations are starting to work at the moment. So, but like I said, it's very tight in the midfield, and neither team's starting to get like an ascendancy on the game. So it's still like a very tight.
towards Matt Jarosky for Lambton. Great to have your company this afternoon. Round 10 of the PlayStation 4 Northern New South Wales NPL. It's Edgeworth up against Lambton this afternoon here on Bar TV. Brought to you by our great sponsors, Top Better. So get in the game with Top Better. They're our major broadcast partner this season on Bar TV for all the winner codes. So awesome to have them on board. And awesome also for it's Edgeworth Sponsors Day today. Berenson up here and Enviro Pacific doing a great job for Edgeworth. And I'd also like to say thank you to all the clubs for the unprecedented access that they've given us this season on Bar TV. It's been awesome to have them on board and great to cover every game in the PlayStation 4 Northern New South Wales NPL. As Kevin Davidson hits it up for Lambton. We've also got our Dust Hundhouse man of the match. Later on in the game, Damien will pick that one for us. Pete McPherson now over towards the sideline. It's Joel Wood. Cutting inside McLaughlin, still going Wood. Down the right-hand side of the box. Bumps over Bazzari. Wins the ball in the end and goes back to Lockie Pasquale. So we tick over just over the 18-minute mark.
Yeah, that was a good challenge by Bazzari in the box. It's a very, obviously it's danger.
And here's Brent, ball over the top for Brent Hamill. Sessions should get back and clean this up and does. And plays it up to Luke Remington. Lambton just get themselves out of a bit of trouble. Remington. Now towards Matt Jarosky.
Yeah, it's a great ball in to Matt Jarosky.
Wheelhouse now across the ground. Willard just gets his boot in. And to Wood, whose pass was intercepted by McLaughlin diving in. Strong tackle with Lockie Pasquale there. And now Pete McPherson with some space in the midfield. Cross to Remington. Only the three goals this season for Luke Remington. Scored them all in the one game. Scored a hat-trick against Adamstown.
Looks like he's hurt himself. There was a great tackle by Aidan Bryce.
Here's Moriyasu down the left. We know how dangerous his right foot is. Plays to McBreen. Looking for the header, and he just puts it wide.
Yeah, that was a hard header for McBreen. It was behind him, so he did well to try and angle it back towards the goals. But Moriyasu, he's starting to come into the game down this left-hand side.
Daniel McBreen, 28 goals in 95 games for the Central Coast Mariners. He's also spent some time in Asia. He most recently played for South China in the Hong Kong Premier League. No, he left the Mariners to go to Shanghai, so he's a journeyman, Daniel McBreen. He's also played for Perth Glory, North Queensland Fury, and as I said, the Mariners. So now to his hometown, his home club of the Edgeworth Eagles. So awesome to have him back in the PlayStation 4 Northern New South Wales NPL as Bazzari at the back for Edgeworth. Up to Brent Hamill. Plays it wide to Bryce. Looks down the line for Brodie Taylor, but Sessions gets back for Lambton. Holding it up down in the corner. And the ball over. This looks like it's gone over for a corner kick there, Michael Sessions. I'm not quite sure what he was trying to achieve down in the corner, trying to get a goal kick for his side, but in the end it's backfired.
Yeah, unfortunately for Michael, I think he was trying to get a goal kick, but or even a throw-in. But unfortunately backfired for him, and Edgeworth's got the corner.
So Moriyasu on the right foot. Here's Moriyasu. Bryce trying to get out on the end of it. Headed away by Ben Hay. Now for McPherson. Dispossessed by McBreen. In towards the back post. Keanu Moore was there, but just drifted over the top of Willard. Still with Keanu Moore. Brodie Taylor on the shot. And he hits it well over.
I don't think Taylor believed he had too much time on the ball there. He probably could have taken a touch and then drilled into the back of the net. But that was well done by McBreen. Dispossession the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box, crossing for Moriyasu.
Swancott up the ground. Wheelhouse. And Keanu Moore back to Bazzari. Nice touch on from Moriyasu, but intercepted by McPherson. Now over on this near side of the ground. Throw for Lambton. Edgeworth in attack, 13 goals in their last 3 matches. As Michael Williams goes back to Brad Swancott in goals.
So this is where I think Johnny Madge should drop a little bit deep and try and pick the ball up in the pockets, not pushing too far on, just to create an extra man in midfield. So, but see how I said before how Edges dropped a bit deep and they pushed their high back line, so it's really hard to play through. That's what I think.
Sessions. Here's his ball through towards Ben Hay. Sorry, trying to cut him off, and Ben Hay wins his side of corner.
Yeah, if I was Jimmy Pascoe, I'd probably encourage Johnny Madge to drop into the midfield a little bit, create that extra man in midfield, so they can get some link-up play in the middle of the park.
Just score from Magic Park. Broadmeadow have taken the lead. They lead 2-1. 39 minutes gone there. And Hamilton Olympic and Maitland still at 0-0. Maitland actually won the game at Darling Street last year, 2-0 in the final round, so Hamilton will be wary. Here's Sessions with the header. Pasquale clears it away, only as far as Pete McPherson. Back for Willard. Looks across towards Majerowski. Runs that one down. John Majerowski, 33 years of age.
Yeah, Johnny's been one of the premier players in the competition for the last probably decade or so. He's always up there with Leedon's goal scorer and player of the year, so he's been a high-quality player for all these years.
He also played for Newcastle Breakers, and he was there a couple of years ago. He was in the grand final for Hamilton in the 2011 grand final that Broadmeadow won. You'd know that grand final very well, Damien.
Yeah, I remember that was my last game as coach, and I remember that day. It was a great day. And then I had my daughter born a few days later, so but I do remember Johnny Madge in that. He got sent off, unfortunately, for him in that game, which made our job a little bit easier. So
the ball runs back. Michael Williams getting back and playing it to Willard. It's right under it. Keanu Moore with the header towards Moriyasu. And now Kevin Davidson. Reese one up the line. Tom Bazari now. And now Willard over the top looking for Remington. I know he's got plenty of pace, but Pat Wheeler did well. Next weekend, no NPL action. As we mentioned earlier about the FFA Cup that's being played next weekend, Edgeworth will be taking on Urunga. As we have a free kick going Edgeworth's way, this could be in Moriyasu's range.
Oh, definitely. There, Brent Hamill coming inside, trying to link up with Daniel McBreen. They've tried that a few times, but the pass have just gone astray. However, that time it was a good counter-attacking sort of link-up play then, so that was well played by Edgeworth. And they're in a great position to score here.
And just quickly a score from the WPL. Merriweather leading Wallsend 3-0, which is a pretty big scoreline for Merriweather because Wallsend are in that top 4, so big display out there from Merriweather leading 3-0. Here's Moriyasu. We know what he can do from here. Here he goes again, this time straight to Brad Swancott, who punches it away towards Ben Hay. And I'm sure Brad Swancott's seen most of the videos of Moriyasu's goals this year, and he's probably taken action accordingly there.
Agree, and it's a difficult angle for Moriyasu as well, for a right footer.
Here's Joel Wood. He gets around Aiden Bryce. Still Joel Wood. Plays in towards the middle. Well cleared away in the end by Edgeworth at the back.
Joel Wood's been quite dangerous down this right-hand side. That's twice he's got past Aaron McLaughlin, or was that Aiden Bryce?
Yeah, it was Aiden Bryce just a moment ago. Here's Wood again. Get in towards the middle, and another corner kick for Lambton. So Edgeworth here next week against Urunga in the first match of the FFA Cup on Saturday. Hamilton taking on Norths. Bell Swans are playing the Lambton Jaffas, so Lambton will be in action as well. And Thornton are playing Singleton in the early matches on Saturday. And the 4 winners will go through to play the finals on Sunday. So here's the corner. Williams getting up. Wood at the back post. Plays towards the middle, and Fogarty gets down and makes the save. So those 4 winners from Saturday playing off in the for the 2 spots on Sunday for that final 32, which we know so much about Edgeworth. They went down to Melbourne City in probably one of their best performances ever. They went down 2-1. It was only 2 Aaron Moy free kicks that were the difference for Melbourne City. And Broadmeadow Magic, they went down to Heidelberg last year, 3-1. So here is McLaughlin towards the middle. Hamill with the header, and he finishes for Edgeworth. And they lead 1-0.
Yeah, that was a great finish and a great cross. Great cross by Aaron McLaughlin. Just swerved it in with his left foot. But I thought they're right. I thought Luke Willard probably should have closed Aaron McLaughlin down so he couldn't get the cross. But then Brent Hamill ghosted in on the back stick, and it was a great finish. And a beautiful ball in by Aaron McLaughlin.
So 2 goals this season for Brent Hamill. Last year, 7, and scored in that FFA Cup match I was talking about. He scored the penalty for Edgeworth in that match.
It's been a pretty tight 25 minutes or 20 minutes, or how long have we been playing for? About 25 minutes. It's been a very tight, so it was pretty hard to see where the goal was going to come from initially because either keeper's been tested, but that was a great finish by Edgeworth.
It's Bizarri gets right under that one and slices it over just for a corner kick for Lambton. But Brad Swancott was blowing up at referee Trent Nash when that goal was scored, so I wasn't exactly sure what it was for, whether he thought Hamill was offside or not.
No, Hamill, he was definitely not offside. He came from behind and sort of, like I said, ghosted in.
Here's the corner kick. Header from McBreen away for Edgeworth and Keanu Moore.
I think Swanee might have been more disappointed with the closing down of the Aaron McLaughlin. I think the right fullback should have closed.
This is Remington on the volley. Appeals for handball from Lambton.
Yeah, I think Luke Willard should have closed down Aaron McLaughlin a bit earlier to prevent him from crossing the ball in. So he might have been upset about that.
And Aaron McLaughlin's been given probably too much space by Lambton this afternoon down that left-hand side.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They've been found wanting on a couple of occasions. Here's Willard. Thought about going back to Swancott. In the end, he tried to go himself, but he's turned it over to Brent Hamill, who goes back to Moriarty on that right foot. Goes to Keanu Moore. Little touch to Brodie Taylor. Brad Swancott comes out. Lambton should deal with this. Sessions does. And over towards Aiden Bryce, who I thought handballed it, and that's what Trent Nash thought.
Yeah, looked like Brad got a bit of rush of blood there, like trying to get the ball. However, lucky for Lambton, nothing came of it. So
it did go high in the air, so I think he might have thought he could have got out and grabbed the ball before it came down, but dropped pretty quickly, and Brodie Taylor almost put it in for Edgeworth. Here's Brent Hamill.
Brent Hamill's really come into the game in the last 10 minutes. He let up play with McBreen, as like there again.
Here is Keanu Moore. Still Moore. Gets around Williams. Plays it in towards the middle, and Brad Swancott has to do the clean-up work. But just Keanu Moore, how easily did he beat Michael Williams down that right-hand side? Just did the in and away.
Oh, yeah, he did very well. However, Brodie Taylor was free on that penalty spot there, so if he linked up with Brodie Taylor, it could have been goal number 2.
Here's Moriarty, sees Lambton ready for the short corner and goes to Hamill. Goes to the outside of the boot to Aiden Bryce. We know how well he can hit a ball. Here's Hamill into the side netting. Just a goal kick.
Yeah, since the goal, Edgy's really starting to put their stamp on the game, I think. They're really starting to take control of this game. Where prior to the goal is a very even affair.
Yeah, and Lambton, they probably had the running for the opening 5-10 minutes, but since then, Edgeworth really they came into the game, and Lambton, they've had some half chances, but no real golden opportunities. Here's McLaughlin. He finds McBreen on his left foot, and McBreen, he puts it into the post. I thought he'd finish from there on his left boot. Swancott was out of position.
And that was a great touch, especially on his right peg for Daniel McBreen, and a great strike. Yeah, poor Brad Swancott was in no man's land there, so...
Brad Swancott blowing up again. I'm thinking at his back line, letting McBreen slide through again. Here is Swancott up towards halfway. Majorowski rises, gets a little touch towards Aaron McLaughlin, goes down towards sideline. Majorowski wins it back from him, and he plays it straight to Brodie Taylor. It goes to McLaughlin. Keanu Moore back to Wheeler, Hamill, and now Aiden Bryce. Good movement from Edgeworth here.
Yeah, that was very well played by Edgeworth. I like the movement off the ball as well. And the speed of the play, a lot quicker now.
Pasquale in the middle. He's got 2 Lambton players around him in McPherson and Benahay. And now Remington away down the left-hand side. 3 Edgeworth players coming across, but he holds on to possession and goes back to Pete McPherson. In round 1 between these two sides, it was a 2-1 win to Edgeworth. Lambton with the first goal. Here's Sessions in towards Majorowski. Majorowski surely... And he can't finish from there, John Majorowski.
Aaron McLaughlin got the toe in. That was a great defensive display by Aaron McLaughlin.
Huge moment in the game. Here's Wheelhouse playing it through. Majorowski, lovely ball. Ben Hayes touches too heavy. And
Lambton have two chances in the last 2 minutes.
Two gilt-edged chances for Lambton there, and probably should have finished at least one of those.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But Aaron McLaughlin at the back outstanding. Set up the goal and then saved one for Edgeworth on that left-hand side. There's now Brodie Taylor. Well, that would add insult to injury if Edgeworth could go down and score here. Down the left edge of the box, cuts it back on his left, and it'll be a corner kick for the Eagles.
Yeah, to be honest, I think Lambton should have equalised. They had two great opportunities there, but now Edgeworth's back on the attack with a corner, so the game can change like that.
That's Moriyasu going to take the corner. 32 minutes and 50 seconds gone in the first half. Here's the corner from Moriyasu, near post. And Michael Williams puts it over for another Edgeworth corner. It was Majorowski that scored the goal for Lambton in that round one encounter to give them the 1-0 lead, but a couple of late goals from Edgeworth. They've done that a lot this season. Here's Brodie Taylor. Still Taylor. John Majorowski dives in and wins the ball from him. Brent Hamill and Brodie Taylor come across to try and dispossess him, and now McPherson is fouled, and Lambton get the free kick.
I was very impressed with Johnny Madge there. Lost possession of the ball, then he chased back one possession, and then they got a free kick. So well done, Johnny. Did really well in defence.
Here's Pete McPherson playing it to Ben Hay. Gets around Pasquale and now goes to Wood. Little touch on Majorowski, but Pat Wheeler dispossesses him. Majorowski disappointed in himself, losing possession. And now Brent Hamill putting lots of pressure on Davidson. Down in the corner. And a Lambton throw. Wheelhouse. Playing it up the line. Edgeworth stats, 23 in their last 23 of their last 26 NPL matches. They have been undefeated. So
that's an impressive stat. That's a very impressive stat.
Very impressive stat. They had 2 losses in their first 3 games last season, and since then it's been 23 of 26. Trying to think of those 3 losses. They would have been Hamilton 3-2. Hamilton 3-2. They lost to Adamstown last season. And maybe another loss in there.
See Edgeworth's defensive shape there. They just sat a little bit deeper, forcing Lambton to play long, and then they win the ball at the back. They're a very well-drilled team, Edgeworth.
Here's McBrain playing it wide. Keanu Moore playing a little touch to Brodie Taylor. McBrain sits up on his left. Taylor rounds Lambton, plays it to Swancott. I should say shoots, and Brad Swancott with a good save, and Michael Sessions down the left clears it up the line. Aiden Bryce.
Good link-up play by Edgeworth then. I think they're starting to really threat to the Lambton goals.
Here is Brent Hamill chipping one over the top. And McBrain just offside. So the goal kick for Brad Swancott.
Free kick.
Sorry, the free kick. Free kick for Brad Swancott. He brings it across to this near side. Pasquale. Playing it through. McLaughlin again down the left-hand side for Edgeworth. Towards the back post, Brent Hamill arriving late, and Sessions puts it over for another corner for Edgeworth.
Yeah, they're getting some space down this left-hand side, Edgeworth, and they're doing some good counter-attacking football down with Aaron McLaughlin doing the overlapping runs. So, however, his delivery there could have been a little bit better, I think, to pick out McBreen or Brent Hamill coming into the back stick.
So it's Moriyasu going down to take the corner kick. I'm surprised Aaron McLaughlin's not going down to take it on his left foot, but it's Moriyasu on the corner duty on both sides this afternoon. Here he is. Doesn't get enough on. Well, didn't get much on it, but Aiden Bryce in front of the near post just pushing his shot over.
They're looking dangerous, Edgeworth, on set plays, especially the corners. So they've got some height with McBreen in the middle and Aidan Bryce. However, the delivery's been very good by Moriasu.
Brad Swancott up to Wheelhouse, a little touch onto Wood. Majorowski, Bizarri in his back, and wins the free kick now for Lambton. Away from home this season, Lambton have only played the 3 matches for a win, a draw and a loss. Here's Pat Whelan out. Up the ground towards Daniel McBreen. And now Moriasu down the left-hand side for Edgeworth. Still Moriasu. He goes back to the middle for Pasquale. Plays it wide to Bren Hamill, and Sessions is there to intercept for Lambton.
Yeah, that was unlucky by Pasquale. The ball across. If he got it to Bren Hamill, he would have been in a very dangerous position, Edgeworth.
Lockie Pasquale goes in the book for a yellow card. He came through very late on Pete McPherson and cleaned him up. And McPherson doesn't look 100% after that. Went to ground after getting the knock from behind. Here's Kevin Davidson. Chipping one forward to Majorowski. Goes to Joel Wood. Now one over on that left-hand side as Remington cut into the middle. And Aidan Bryce now down that right-hand side for Edgeworth. To McBreen. Into the final 7 minutes of regulation time in the first half. This time McPherson comes across and tries to clean up Pasquale. I wouldn't be surprised if Trent Nash came back to that. Here's Moriasu down the left towards the middle. Joe Wheelhouse flying in for Lambton. Just getting away from danger. McLaughlin in again. This time with his right. McBreen with a touch into the post. Back for McBreen. Somehow not in. Now Bren Hamill puts it over. And Brad Swancott holding on to Daniel McBreen. They're just having a little bit of fun down there.
Just having a little bit
old
of
mates.
there. Good old mates from the old Breakers days. So just having a bit of a cuddle down there. They've missed each other since McBreen's been in China.
And Brad Swancott having a few jokes in round one. Daniel McBreen and Brad Swancott. As here's Keanu Moore. Here's Bren Hamill. In towards the middle again. Moriasu can't get the shot on, but Keanu Moore will run that down for Edgeworth. Here's Moore on his right foot. Back for Pasquale. McPherson after him.
Yep, I think McPherson's looking for a square up on Pasquale at the moment.
Yeah, I think a moment ago he was flying in. Here is Bren Hamill. In towards the middle. Michael Williams up and away for Lambton. And now Majorowski. He's got Joel Wood on this near side. He decides to go across and back to Sessions. His pass wasn't great, and Bren Hamill's intercepted for Edgeworth. They got 2 men in the middle. They got Moriasu, McBreen, and Brad Swancott. Takes it beautifully at the near post.
Again for Edgeworth, the delivery. I think the final delivery, they could have scored a few goals if the final delivery had hit their mark.
Here's Joel Wood. As the free kick goes Edgeworth's way, but they've made some errors at the back, haven't they, Lambton?
Oh, they have. And that's allowing Edgeworth to find the pockets on that left-hand, right-hand side. But just that final delivery's just been either just a bit too long or it just hasn't been hard enough. So,
and I think we spoke about it in that game we did against when Lambton played Broadmeadow Magic. They were giving away a lot of cheap ball, and Broadmeadow capitalised their first goal.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. So, but fortunately for Lambton, it's still 1-0, so they're still well in the game.
So those other scores, Broadmeadow Magic leading Adamstown 2-1 at half-time. And still 0-0 in that other game between Hamilton and Maitland. That'll be at half-time as well. Brodie Taylor back to Bren Hamill. Tries to stab it through, and Pete McPherson, I should say, yeah, it is another foul on Pete McPherson.
Bren Hamill's really starting to come into this game. He's starting to link up with McBreen and with Brodie Taylor and starting to be very dangerous.
Here's McLaughlin. Goes to Moriasu. Keanu Moore with some space. He goes wide no one there for Edgeworth. I was looking for Aaron McLaughlin, but he was back here on halfway, and it just trickles over for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think both coaches would probably say at half-time their final third ball just needs to be a little bit better because there's going to be limited chances in this game, so that if you get that final ball right in that front third, that's when the goals will come.
Majorowski just getting in front of Don Bazzari. And now towards Ben Hay, who is fouled. Free kick Lambton's way, had a golden opportunity for Lambton, and here's a card. Majorowski playing it into Keanu Moore, who wasn't back 10. And the free kick will be retaken for Lambton. It's a good chance for Lambton here from the set piece. They've got some tall men in the box. Joel Wood there. Majorowski, we know how good he is with his head, and Michael Sessions goes towards the near side. Moriyasu clears it away to Ben Hay, back for Wheelhouse, in towards the back post where Jim Fogarty just claims from Luke Remington, and here come Edgeworth now. Down this right-hand side. McBrain across to Keanu Moore. Trying to get away from Wheelhouse. Moriyasu, little back heel towards Keanu Moore. Moriyasu again. Calm on the ball. He goes wide to for Brodie Taylor. Lambton clear it away as far as Aaron McLaughlin for Edgeworth. Pasquale. Pete McPherson after him again, and Lambton with a 4-on-3 here. Ben Hay, what can they do? He looks towards Remington. Remington on the left edge of the box. He's got Majorowski in the middle. Looks towards the back post. Joel Wood, I should say Pete McPherson coming down for Lambton. Back to Joel Wood now. And now Lambton have turned it over. Brodie Taylor, the break for Edgeworth.
The game's really starting to open up now, but that final pass again. The final pass is just not hitting the mark on both sides.
And good defending there from Edgeworth to push Luke Remington wide. And
yeah, it was Aidan Bryce who pushed him wide. It was great. Yeah, it was well defended.
Into the final minute now of regulation time in the first half. As Edgeworth come away. Turn it over back to Lambton, but Lambton gift it back to Edgeworth. Pat Wheeler across to Aidan Bryce. Bren Hamill with the lone goal in the first half, but Edgeworth with some great chances. McBrain hitting the post. McBrain's header actually hitting the post a second time. He had a shot, hit the post, then a header. And here's McBrain on his left. Goes to Keanu Moore. Is there a late goal for Edgeworth before the break? Swancott comes out and claims. And Kigo Moriyasu with his shot swerving into the base of the post.
That's again, Lambton will have 3v3 at the back. So they need to be very careful with their fullbacks bombing wide.
Here's Wheelhouse. Yeah, they've been very open at times at the back of Lambton. Here's a ball looking for Joel Wood, but McLaughlin is there. And Wood diving in. Back to the middle for Pete McPherson. Ben Hay to Wheelhouse, who goes looking for Sessions. Bryce intercepted, but couldn't keep control of the ball. And now Ben Hay on his left foot, winding up, diving in on Pat Wheeler and giving away the free kick. Just 20 seconds or so into stoppage time in the first half. Moriyasu cross to McLaughlin. McLaughlin to Brodie Taylor, who goes down. No foul. As here's Wheelhouse. Goes to Majorowski. He's a lovely turn there from John Majorowski. Plays it wide to Joel Wood. Joel Wood comes to Fogarty, and Jim Fogarty first time makes a good save. Wood back towards the middle. And Bazzari that time saves the day, but Jim Fogarty with a great save.
I was about to say in my halftime talk that Johnny Madge is a key for Lambton here. If he can just drop a little bit deeper into the pockets, pick the ball up, and play the paceman of Joel Woods and Luke Remington in, as he did just then, they could be very dangerous in the second half, Lambton.
So it'll be Ben Hay going down to take the corner kick. Edgeworth with just a slender lead going into half-time. As here is the corner kick in. McBrain rose the highest and headed away. Wheelhouse after it. on his left boot towards the middle. Remington on the volley. He didn't get enough on it. Wasn't a bad effort from Luke Remington.
Yeah, he was unlucky there.
And that is half-time here at Jack McLaughlin Oval, and it'll be Edgeworth going in with a 1-0 lead, courtesy of Bren Hamill finishing for them. But Edgeworth have had plenty of chances, haven't they?
Yeah, but Lambton are definitely not out of this game at any shot, because you could see towards the end Johnny Madge just starting to bring himself into the game, starting to pick the ball up in those pockets, play the pace guys in like Joel Wood and Luke Remington. He can cause a few problems, I think. I think for, to be honest, Edgeworth will be a bit disappointed they more than one goal up at half-time, but that leaves Lambton right in the match.
So half-time here at Jack McLaughlin Oval on Bar TV this afternoon. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 10-15 minutes for the start of the second half. It's Edgeworth 1, Lambton 0. Hello and welcome back. Second half underway now here at Jack McLaughlin Oval. Edgeworth up against Lambton. It's Edgeworth with a 1-0 half-time advantage. Don Bazari cross to Pat Wheel at the back for Edgeworth. He brings it across to this near side for Bren Hamill. Damien Smith is with me in commentary today. And Damien, you had a chat to Damien Zane, the Edgeworth coach. What did he say to you at half-time? Oh, hang on, we'll go back to Luke Remington. He's down the left-hand side and unable to control to Jim Fogarty.
Yeah, I spoke briefly to Damien just at half-time. He said he was pretty happy with the first half. Obviously, wished they converted a few of their chances they had, but all in all, he's happy the way they're going at the moment.
Bren Hamill goes all the way back to Don Bazari. Had some great chances in the first half. Bren Hamill finishing Edgeworth's lone goal, but Kigo Moriyasu hit the post from the left-hand side. A dipping right foot shot, and Daniel McBreen hit the post on 2 occasions. Here's Ben Hay to Wheelhouse. Lambton weren't without chances as well. Joel Wood, a great one before half-time. He's on the ball now down the right. Cuts inside Bazari, now plays it into the head of Pat Wheeler. And McLaughlin away for Edgeworth.
Yeah, I think this second half's going to be very interesting. I think if Lambton can get Johnny Madgett more into the game, coming deep to pick up the ball and try and get the 2 wide guys in, and also with McBreen, if he just drops a bit deeper, picks the ball up in the pocket like he's just about to do now, and link up, I think that's where Edgeworth can really exploit Lambton.
Here's Moriyasu trying to dodge around Kevin Davidson, who made the tackle on him. Pete McPherson.
The other thing with Edgeworth, I think they can exploit also with Lambton's left and right fullback going forward quite a fair bit, leaving space in behind. So that's where they exploited that space in the first half. So they'll be probably looking to do that again in the second half.
So Lambton at the back through Michael Williams, playing at centre back this afternoon. He plays a nice ball to Remington. Hayden Bryce got a foot in and puts it over the sideline.
It's been a good duel with Remington and Hayden Bryce. I think, to be honest, it's probably an even contest. So Hayden Bryce has made a few great tackles. If I was James Pascoe, I'd probably look at maybe switching Remington in the second half just to break it up a little bit and just maybe put him on and bring Joel Wood over on the left-hand side and put Remington on the right-hand side.
Played his juniors with Swansea, did Hayden Bryce, and played in the under-19s grand final for Edgeworth back in 2013. And actually played rugby league till he was in under-12, so switching over not too late to football. As here is Remington on his left foot. Pat Wheeler diving in. Keanu Moore up towards McBreen now in the centre circle to Moriyasu. Chips one over the top. Bren Hamill leading the charge for Edgeworth. He's got Davidson after him. He plays it to McBreen. Well blocked. Back for Moriyasu. Still Moriyasu. He goes down.
That was a good challenge by Davidson in the box there. Moriyasu had the momentum going forward, but Davidson held his ground and it was a great challenge.
Joel Wood on the far side now. Aaron McLaughlin jockeying him. Wood wants to take him on again. Still Wood. As we mentioned earlier in the call, against one of his former clubs, former Golden Boot at Edgeworth, Joel Wood.
It's been a very tight first half. The game sort of opened up straight away in the second half.
As here's Keanu Moore. Gets away from Davidson. He's got McBreen on this near side. Keanu Moore round Sessions. Still Keanu Moore comes to Swancott, and Keanu Moore finishes. And Edgeworth lead by 2 now.
I would hope that was a sensational goal by Keanu Moore. But I was unsure what Michael Williams was doing there. I think he should have put a lot more pressure on Keanu Moore as he was running through the centre and left the wide player in McBreen. However, it just gave him a free run to a one-on-one with Swanee, and that was a great finish and a great goal. He's picked the ball up on halfway, I think, and that was a great goal.
And you sense here, Lambton, they don't get their act together. We saw what Edgeworth did in the first half. Had plenty of chances. They didn't finish them. And Lambton have got to be wary here because we've seen what Edgeworth have done to other sides in the competition.
Agree. And you know what? The first few minutes of the second half, I thought Lambton had the better of it. Then all of a sudden, Edgeworth go down and score. And I think, to be honest, it's going to be tough for Lambton to get back into the game here. But, there's still 40 minutes to go.
Here's Joel Wood. Back to Willard. It's 3 matches. 3 matches in a row now that Edgeworth have got the Wood over Lambton. So looking to make it 4 this afternoon. Here's Wheelhouse. Goes short to Joel Wood. Turns away at the back from Edgeworth. Willard goes to McPherson. Nice touch to Joe Wheelhouse.
And just back on that goal, again, their fullbacks were pushed high. There was space in beyond, and they exploited it. So I think Edgeworth can really exploit this high line and the pushing up of the right and left fullback of Lambton.
Here's Moriarty. Laying it off for Keanu Moore. Back to McBreen. Towards the back post for Brent Hamill, who had some space before Sessions came across. Hamill takes him on and wins Edgeworth a corner. I'm just thinking about Lambton, this side out there today compared to the side that was here back in 2014 at this ground. They had so many great memories in the 2014 grand final, winning 2-0 over Western. But just the difference between this side and that one, I just think they lack a bit of pace.
Agree, especially against Edgeworth. They've got a young mobile midfield. It's a young mobile side besides the 50-year-old Daniel McBreen up top. But
there's the corner in for Lambton. I should say for Edgeworth, Brodie Taylor with his shot going well over.
Yeah, I think the key is their mobility, especially in the middle of the park. They've got some quality players there in Wheelhouse and Pete McPherson. However, the young brigade coming through, they're quite mobile. They're good on the ball, and they run all day as well.
And Brad Swancott, you just feel Luke Remington up the front for them. He's the speediest of their front line, just playing a bit of a lone hand. Here is Keanu Moore down the left.
Again, the right fullback, Willard, was pushed forward again, leaving space there for the Edgeworth midfield to run into.
But I think over there for a corner kick, and I think Joel Wood's a very good player for Lambton. Make no doubts about that. I just think I think him and John Majorowski are two very similar players, and when you've got two of them up front, I think you probably need that man in the middle, and Joel Wood's playing out on the right, so maybe a bit out of position to where he would normally play up the front. As here is Joel Wood down that right-hand side. Dom Bazari getting back and doing the work for Edgeworth.
Yeah, that was well defended by Dom Bazari. I think, Jimmy, I'd probably give it another 10 minutes, see if anything changes. If not, I'd probably maybe swap Magic, get him a bit deeper, bring Joel Wood more towards the centre, swap Remington to the right-hand side. Probably just change their front third up a little bit, just trying to confuse the Edgeworth defence.
John Majorowski on his left foot towards the front post. Sessions rises for the header. McLaughlin letting it run before clearing it up the ground. Majorowski. Now Davidson. We saw Majorowski in the first half setting up that chance for Joel Wood right on half-time. There's plenty of skill, John Majorowski. And here's a ball over the top. Keanu Moore looking for his second this afternoon, just offside. Scores from the other grounds. Maitland and Hamilton were at 0-0 at half-time, and with 20 to go, Adamstown 2-2 with Broadmeadow Magic. It was Chris Berlin and Dino Fadjevic. The goals, he's a former Lambton player, won the 2014 grand final, Dino Fadjevic.
And Berlin's a former Magic player, so he would have loved scoring against his old side.
Chris Berlin, no, he would have loved that as well. As here is Ben Hay. Runs it to Pete McPherson, Majorowski, and now Brodie Taylor on the ball for Edgeworth. Moriarty. Has he got a goal in him this afternoon? Kigo Moriarty.
I think there's definitely more goals in this game. I think Lambton could probably or score a goal against Edgeworth, I think. However, I think Edgeworth's got another goal in him.
Well, that match between Maitland and Hamilton is crucial to the ladder. And we'll go to that in just a sec as Aidan Bryce plays in McBreen down the right. McBreen towards the middle. Keanu Moore, I think just an offside there for McBreen, just offside. Keanu Moore is in the box with no one around him.
The forward runs from Edgeworth here. The guys bombing forward from the midfield are causing Lambton a bit of heartache at the back. They need to follow the runners, Lambton, otherwise Edgeworth is going to pinch it or score another goal.
Well, Edgeworth are 3 points behind Maitland on the ladder as it's stolen here by Edgeworth. Moriarty towards the middle.
And again, their left fullback is caught forward.
Bren Hamill. Going to find his way to the 18. Still Hamill towards the back post. Well dealt with at the back by Luke Willard.
It's been dangerous, Brent Hamill, on this right-hand side. Every time he's had the ball, he's looked dangerous.
It was one of Edgeworth's best last season. He played, he was actually injured, for the 2010 grand final. win that they had, Edgeworth, was Brent Hamill, as Aiden Bryce heads it up the ground. Now with Pat Wheeler. Across to this near side, Bryce with a little touch on, and over the sideline for an Edgeworth throw. And we've got another goal from I shouldn't say Magic Park, Adamstown Oval. Keanu Moore to Moriarty. We've got Broadmeadow leading 3-2. An entertaining clash, that one. Here is Ben Hay. Can Adamstown respond? Here's Ben Hay, Remington. Pasquale goes down, clutching at a right ankle maybe. Doesn't look in a good way. Trent Nash just checking everything's all right. And Pasquale has a seat again, so I'm thinking play will be stopped in a minute. So Lambton with a throw, Pasquale leaving the ground, but whether he does come back on remains to be seen. Whether they make a change or comes back on just as the injury, as he held up play with that injury, so he needed to come off the ground as Brodie Taylor gets under that one and looks to be over for just a Lambton corner kick, and is.
I think if Lambton can score in the next 5 minutes, I think it's going to be a very interesting last half hour. I think either side can score from this point. Even though Edgeworth had a few chances just of late, Lambton are a very dangerous side.
Here's Majorowski under it. Wheelhouse with the header. It's a chance for Wheelhouse. Ben Hay in towards the middle. Sense that's probably their best opportunity, Lambton, from the set piece with Wheelhouse and Sessions as well. The ball's played wide towards Brent Hamill, and Brent Hamill nicks it from Willard. And Hamill, he's got Keanu Moore inside him. He takes it on himself, Brent Hamill, and mucks his shot. I don't know. I think he was probably in two minds there, whether to shoot or play the ball, and in the end he did neither.
Defensively, they did work very well. Michael Williams just held his ground. He cut off the pass to Keanu Moore running forward. So he forced Brent Hamill to go himself and have a shot outside the 18-yard box. I thought defensively, Lambton were very good then.
Brad Swancott now engaging in a chat with the referee. Lockie Pasquale not coming back onto the ground, and Dan Miners goes on for Edgeworth. Played for Charlestown last season. And his brother at Hamilton. As the ball with Kevin Davidson to McPherson. John Majorowski down that right-hand side. Over towards the sideline and over. As we said, great to have Edgeworth sponsors with us up here in the box today. They did a great job and pretty busy up here. Berens and Enviro Pacific, the major sponsors for Edgeworth. So thanks to them for supporting the local football. And, of course, Top Better as well, supporting Bar TV's winter codes this season, getting the game with Top Better.
And it's good to have another Edgeworth legend, Benny Smith, up here with all the boys, with the sponsors, having a quiet hour with all the boys. And
Ben Smith, of course, playing last season for Edgeworth. A few matches when Jim Fogarty was injured with the collarbone injury. I'm pretty sure he did at Magic. As here's Brent Hamill down the right-hand side and over Lambton.
Yeah, the last I remember of Ben Smith was Aaron Moy scoring 2 goals against him in the FFA Cup. Poor Benny was stranded, had no idea. So
he didn't have to pay much to stand there and watch him, did he? As here is Sessions, back to Wheelhouse. Here is Ben Hay turning it over. Pat Wheeler. And now wide to Keanu Moore. He has got Brodie Taylor in the middle. He decides to go to McLaughlin. Little touch over McPherson, still McLaughlin before Kevin Davidson gets it away. And Joel Wood now towards Wheelhouse. Moriarty, a nice turn, but Wheelhouse was there to nick it back off him and plays it to Ben Hay. Now Lambton pushing forward. Touch wide to Joel Wood. Chips it towards, looking for the back post, but just the lack of quality there from Lambton.
Yeah, Joe Wheelhouse was still winning that back stick. If Joel Wood could just get a decent crossover for Joe Wheelhouse, could have been 2-1. I thought the referee did well then to let play on. There was a foul on Joe Willhouse, but he allowed play on and allowed Lambton to break.
Here's Aaron McLaughlin chipping it forward to tall man up front, Daniel McBrain. Moriarty with a lovely touch on back of his foot, but Brodie Taylor unable to hold on to possession. McPherson wide. Remington trying to run this one down. He does so, but Aiden Bryce arrives and takes it back for Edgeworth. Another goal at Adamstown. They just won't go away, the Rosebuds. 3-3 now. There's now Brent Hamill, Keanu Moore into the middle to Daniel McBrain, and a free kick going the way of Edgeworth. But just quickly on that Adamstown Broadmeadow game, I want to, with the utmost respect to Adamstown, you look at those two rosters, and Broadmeadow should be winning that game based on paper, shouldn't they?
Oh, 100%. But I think the disappointing with Broadmeadow, and I think Rob Bagilli and Bobby Newmark would agree with me, they've conceded 3 goals. You know, top sides don't want to concede any goals. So again, they've conceded more than 2 goals a game.
And it was Chris Berlin after a magic penalty, and I'm assuming that was Luke Vigili towards the back post. Headed away. And Lambton trying to clear their lines. And Hamilton Olympic lead 1-0. It was Reece Cooper with the goal. Towards the back post, Swancott takes, well, he almost took it. McBrain coming in, tending to have a bit of a golf swing at that one. Got the leg nice and high, and now Kevin Davison across to the right. So Chris Berlin, 2 goals against his former club, and James Vigili with the penalty to make it 3-2, and then Chris Berlin 3-3. And Chris Berlin in one match has scored more goals than he did for Broadmeadow last season. He scored 1 last season. It was against Adamstown. So seems to score against former clubs. Chris Berlin.
The other thing is Bobby Newmop and Rob Vigili are very close friends with Chris Berlin, even related to him. So they won't be too happy with his nephew.
Here is Sessions. Wheelhouse in towards the middle. Yeah, Chris Berlin just unable to break into that magic first-team lineup as we see a card come out. It's Brent Hamill that's going to go in, Edgeworth's captain.
A few tackles are starting to creep into this game. I think Lambton get a little bit frustrated, and they're just sort of going into a few late challenges.
He was sent off in the match against Lambton last season, Brent Hamill, at this ground. In the 2-1 win that Edgeworth had, Wheelhouse scored the first goal, and Edgeworth equalising and then going ahead in the second half. Here is Luke Remington on the ball. Looks to play in Michael Sessions. He does get it towards him, but Pat Wheeler's there to nick it back for Edgeworth.
Wheeler's done tremendous there.
Beautiful play from Pat Wheeler, and now Brent Hamill with some space down the right. Looks towards the middle. There's McBrain. McBrain can't make it 3.
I've been very impressed with Brent Hamill today. He's found space down that right-hand side, done some great delivery, scored a goal. He's been one of the best on ground.
Here is Ben Hay. Ben Hay, plenty of pace on that left boot. Coming inside, looking towards the middle. He had a great opportunity in the first half, just a heavy touch, and looking to make up for it there, and wins Lambton a corner. You just sense here, Damien, if Joel Wood, Michael Sessions can get their head on this one, he could be back in it.
Oh, it'd be a tense 30 minutes if Lambton do get back into the game.
So it is Majorowski, I should say Majorowski is taking the corner. And it's Jim Fogarty. Played a season at the Jets Youth in 2012, and as I mentioned, he played at Urunga from Coffs Harbour. This one almost comes and cleans up the camera. Ducking for cover up here, Damien. Aiden Bryce. Back to Jim Fogarty on the edge of his 18.
I think if I was here, Edgeworth, I'd just keep the ball, especially at the back. Force Lambton to come and get it. Create space in the midfield. And there's Moriarty finding the pocket again. Moriarty
towards the 18. His shot just a bit low. Rolling along the ground and wide.
That's a prime example. If Edgeworth just keep the ball, move the Lambton defence, and find the pockets in there like Moriarty did there, create space, then he can attack the goal or have a link-up play with McBreen. So
Brad Swancott slicing under that. Joel Wood with a nice touch to Willard, but it's intercepted, and it's Moriyasu again. Touch of class in the first half, but that was his only chance. He had a free kick, which Swancott saved, and then the dipping shot that hit the post. Majorowski to Ben Hay. On that left boot, he hits it into the legs of Pat Wheeler. And Edgeworth with the free kick.
Wheeler's been solid at the back for Edgeworth as well. Been very impressed with Wheeler. He's kept a steady line, hasn't been forced out of his line. They've been rock solid at the back.
Hayden Bryce. And these two sides, they could meet next week. Majorowski with a touch. McLaughlin, if they both win their first matches, Lambton and Edgeworth could both meet each other on the Sunday. So could be a dress rehearsal, this one. Still 3-3 with 8 minutes to go at Adamstown Oval. Adamstown showing a lot of heart in that match. Chris Berlin, the old dog.
The old dog for sure. 2
goals and an own goal each.
And they would have been disappointed with their first round loss to Broadmeadow. I think it was 7-2 in the end. So obviously, they want to make amends this round.
And Luke Vigili and James Vigili on the board in that one. Back towards Sessions. Little touch. And we're speaking maybe at the start of this half about Lambton's pace. Another one that's left them that had plenty of pace was Cale Bradbury. He's at Broadmeadow, so...
Yeah, that's right.
McBreen on the ball for Edgeworth now. Back to Keanu Moore. Finds Miners. Was looking wide for Hamill, but he played it straight into legs of Michael Williams. Wheelhouse to Remington now. So we tick towards the halfway mark of this second half. Now down towards the sideline, up the line. It's Pat Wheeler. Goal scorers this afternoon, Bren Hamill in the first half and Keanu Moore in the second. Edgeworth with the 2-0 lead. Hamilton lead 1-0 against Maitland. And as we just mentioned, 3-3 at Adamstown. They play Magic.
Edgeworth being smart here, just keeping the ball away from Lambton, making the defenders move across the park, creating space for the strikers.
Here's the ball from Miners across to Hamill. Stepping around and towards the back post. A little bit heavy, but Moriyasu runs it down. Luke Willard putting some pressure on him.
Again, Hamill is so dangerous down that right-hand side.
McLaughlin on his left foot. We know how dangerous that is. Ren Hamill. This time on his left. He goes to McLaughlin. McLaughlin into Brodie Taylor.
Yeah, just trying to force the ball there, Edgeworth. They could have just taken their time, brought the ball out again and set up.
And now Pat Wheeler takes off down this near side and the free kick. Go the way of Lambton, and we're going to see a change. That's Brodie Taylor leaving the park for Edgeworth.
He's had a good game, Brodie Taylor. The whole 3 midfielders for Edgeworth have been very solid. So that's a like-for-like switch for Edgeworth.
There was a big chance today for, here's McPherson and Majorowski. It's a big chance today for Magic to sort of put a gap between themselves and 5th place Charlestown. Unable to do so. And Lambton also to close the gap from 5th to 6th, which they have been unable to do so far this afternoon. There's a 6-point gap from Charlestown to Lambton. Charlestown on 14 and Lambton on 8 points. So just that gap that will not close after this match. But here's Dylan Hulse towards the middle. McBreen looking for the volley. A free kick goes against him. Adamstown, that result for them, they're on 6 points at the moment, so a draw would just push them up to 7 and they'd still sit in 9th spot on the ladder. So
I'm predicting a winner from Magic in the last 5 minutes, Ben.
A Magic 4-3 win. We haven't had many high-scoring wins this season. Magic actually, the last 4-3 we had in the competition, they lost that 4-3 match to Western. Jake Milstead scored in one of our matches last season to win it for Western in the final minute. So Michael Williams for Lambton now on the ball.
Lambton's playing in Edgeworth's hands here. They're just sort of sitting back, wind the clock down slowly, which is just perfect for them as they're 2-0 up.
And it is 1-1 at Darling Street Oval. Matt Thompson with the equaliser for Hamilton. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. Maitland's captain. Shouldn't say Maitland's captain. Blake Thompson's their captain, but he's their heart. Here's the ball from it. Daniel McBreen, who's offside, and Brad Swancott still makes the save.
That was a great ball and a great run by McBreen, but a great ball in by Moore.
So that would be with about 5 minutes to go at Darling Street Oval. Maitland refusing to go away. Plenty of cracking games this afternoon. Jim Fogarty. The most one-sided, this one this afternoon, Damien. The other two, really good contest. This one has been as well. It's just Lambton haven't been able to finish their shots. Here is Aiden Bryce. Sessions. Here's Majorowski stepping around. There's still time for Lambton. And they've got the free kick.
Yeah, there's 20 minutes to go. There's heaps of time for Lambton to get back into this game. But looking at Edgeworth, they'll probably just slowly wind the clock down, keep the ball. But in saying that, they've got a young side. Young guys tend to just go forward and want to score more goals. So
4-1 at full time in the match between Merewether and Wallsend in the WPL. Merewether with a 4-1 win there. So big result for them. Adamstown runaway leaders in that competition, and those two very close behind second and third. Those two second, very, very close. So Merewether with a dominant win there. Here's Wheelhouse. They won the competition last year in the WPL, Merewether. Here's McPherson. Majorowski into Wheelhouse. Lovely bit of skill from Joe Wheelhouse. But Aiden Bryce was there. Majorowski trying to get in there. Reece Tippett on the ground now for Lambton.
This is Reece Tippett's first game back after about 6 to 8 weeks on the sideline with a hamstring injury. So probably I think about 6 weeks.
Here's Dylan Holtz. Reece Tippett slotting in at the right back, coming on for Luke Willard just a moment ago. Here's Brent Hamill. Cutting inside Sessions, who everyone looks to the referee. No penalty given.
Yeah, it looked like Brent Hamill lost his footing a little bit as he was going round Sessions. So
as now Swancott out of position, so he quickly runs back, and Keanu Moore, he's got his man in the way there, Brent Hamill. And over for a corner kick. Michael Williams saying that it was a goal kick, but Trent Nash going with the corner.
Unfortunately for Edgeworth there, Brent Hamill's down injured and sort of closed the space in for Keanu Moore. So, it was...
Well, we've still got this scoreline alive, Damien, of another 2-1 result. It's been 4 in a row when these two sides have met. The last 4 matches, 2-1. And you said a quick shout out to Chris Turner as well in the first half, Damien. I just wanted to have a... This one's headed away by Lambton. Quick shout out to Chris. He was listening this afternoon, so he'll be back on board in the coming weeks. Just been busy with work, as here is Ben Hay. Trying to get inside Aiden Bryce.
And McBreen picks the ball up nice in a pocket there.
Here's McBreen.
If McBreen had his time again, he probably would have drifted inside himself, I think, and had a shot with his favourite left peg.
Dylan Hulse goes back to Bryce. Aiden Bryce right under it. McBreen with the header. Swancott, there it is. A wonderful save from Brad Swancott, just keeping McBreen's header out. And Edgeworth playing it forward. McPherson's there. Reece Tippett. Wide to Joel Wood.
Yeah, back on Chris Turner, one of the hard-working Australians working over the long weekend. Lucky for me, I had the weekend off, so...
and you got tomorrow off as well?
Got tomorrow off as well.
It's good to hear, Damien. You can freshen yourself up for the big game on Wednesday night. We're going to be at Magic Park for the catch-up match. Broadmeadow Magic up against Maitland. That should be a very, very interesting contest.
Very interesting. That's going to be a cracker because both sides buried in the top 4, desperate for points, depending on the results today.
Moriasu wide, Aiden Bryce down this near side. And now Holtz in towards the middle, but Daniel McBrain loses his footing. A few players losing their footing out there. Ground a little bit softer with the rain.
Normally when Edgeworth's pitch gets really drenched like it did probably last week, and it normally takes a month or so for the actual water to drain out. I was talking to Damien Zane just before the game, and he said last year or the year before, the pitch was wet for the whole season. There's no drainage, but the pitch is in good condition. It's in great condition, actually.
Here's Joel Wood getting fouled. Staying down too, so doesn't look good. Now he's going to hop up pretty quickly. Takes off, and Wheelhouse looking to take it quickly. He does. Goes to Majorowski. Chips it wide for Joel Wood. Wood towards the middle. He puts it into the side netting.
And obviously Joel Wood doesn't like Bob Skelly painting at all, so he just gave the paint sign a bit of a polish.
Put his boot through it. Here's Jim Fogarty. Here is Dom Bazari. Slicing it up towards Daniel McBrain. Coming up in the last 15 minutes, Damien Smith will let us know who he has selected for the Dachshund House man of the match. Here's Joel Wood. In towards Majorowski now. Majorowski. Remington on his left foot. A chance for Lambton here, but Aiden Bryce out muscles him.
Aiden Bryce has had another solid game today. It's actually... most players have been very good for Edgeworth and Lambton today. I think it's going to be a hard decision, Ben, on man of the match. I've slowly narrowed it down to probably 2 to 3 players. Hope you agree with me.
It is. I'll agree with wherever you go, Damien. As here is the ball in. Reece Tippett. Sessions is going to have a blast, and great save from Jim Fogarty.
That was well hit. What a great save by Jim Fogarty. He would have seen that late. A great reflex save.
There's so many bodies in front of him. Wheelhouse to Majorowski. And Sessions going to go again. He's got Brent Hamill in front of him. Wide to Wheelhouse. Him and Holtz come together. Reece Tippett down and over for another corner for Lambton. So they're just knocking on the door here. They just won't go away.
They're not going away at all. I tell you what, if they can get a goal here, it's going to be a very interesting 13 minutes.
Here's the touch from McPherson. Wheelhouse's ball in wasn't great, but Edgeworth's clearance wasn't great either. Here's Sessions again. Deflects off Holtz and over for another corner kick for Lambton. And it's Sessions going down to take it. Plenty of time.
And to be honest, I think Lambton deserve a goal today. They've had enough chances to score at least one.
Towards the back post, just overhit there from Sessions. And it'll trickle over for a goal kick. Have you ever been to Dachshund House for dinner?
No, I haven't actually.
I think it's lunch as well. No, I haven't, but Gareth and Josh from Bar TV went there midweek. And
the thumbs up.
The thumbs up. The thumbs up has been given.
Thumbs up. So
I saw the video on Facebook midweek, and it looked good. I wanted to eat those burgers they had there, so I'll have to try it out sometime this year. I'll have to steal one of the Man of the Match awards and take off with it. So Jim Fogarty.
Edgeworth, I think.
It's Aidan Gardner who's gone on for the Eagles.
Yeah, for Kearney Moore, it looks like.
Kearney Moore coming off the ground.
But to me, he was probably in the top 3 players on the pitch, I would say.
He scored his 5th of the season today. He scored 4 last season, and he went past that total this season. So another big season for Keanu Moore. And full-time, Adamstown and Broadmeadow have finished 3-3, and Magic and Olympic and Maitland finished 1-1. Here is Davidson diving in and just keeping it away. So a couple of draws in the other games, and didn't see that. Dylan Holtz getting yellow card.
It looked quite awkward. It looked like his elbow.
And that's not good at all. That's Reece Tippett, is it down? I'm just hoping it wasn't another injury for him.
I think it was an awkward collision. It looked like, just they sort of clashed, an elbow clashed into Reece Tippett's face.
Joel Wood with a lovely touch. Ben Hay towards the middle. Wood taken down in the box. Lambton appealing for the penalty. Trent Nash waving it away. Thought that wasn't a bad shout for Lambton.
Yeah, for sure.
Here's McPherson. Wide to Tippett. Tippett in towards the middle. Bazari Heads that one over towards the sideline. In again. And Brent Hamill this time with the header away. Just sensing here, a little bit nervous. Edgeworth just unable to break free.
Yeah, for sure.
Here's Tippett in again towards Majorowski. Was in between two Lambton players, and Aiden Bryce was there. Luckily for Edgeworth to head it away. You just sense here now, if they can get a break, Edgeworth, they could put in a third. Here's Aiden Bryce down this near side. Still going Bryce. Plays it in, sits up Moriyasu. On his left, on his right, Moriyasu finishes. And Edgeworth grabbed their third, and there it was, Damien, the break, and 3-0 to Edgeworth.
Yeah, and again, Aiden Bryce has been quality again today. He went forward. Brent Hamill stayed to cover him at right fullback. He went forward. It was a great ball in, and the ball fell to Moriyasu, and he neatly got past, I think it was Luke Willard, and slotted it home.
7 for the season for Kigo Moriyasu now. He'll be up there in the Golden Boot reckoning at the back end of the season. Kane Goodchild at the top with 9 goals at the moment.
What I liked about his finish there, he just placed it in. He didn't try and put the ball. Yeah, he didn't try to flog the ball in the back of the net. He just placed it past the keeper, and 3-0 to Edgeworth.
And isn't it funny how quickly the gap at the top of the table just closes that little bit? Hamilton will only lead the competition by 1 point going into this little 2-week break we've got. 2 weeks until the next game. We've got some catch-up matches, as we said, on Wednesday. Magic taking on Maitland at Magic Park. We're doing that one live, and then the Jets are playing Valentine. They're the only 2 games going ahead. As here's Ben Hay getting into the box, but unable to get through Edgeworth's tight defence at the back. And those other 3 matches from round 9 that was washed out, they will be played on the 29th of June due to those FFA Cup matches. Northern New South Wales didn't want to make the schedule too hectic for those sides. Here's Remington. Hayden Gardner coming across. And Aiden Bryce. It's not Aiden Bryce, it's Bren Hamill that's down.
Yeah, just on the results over the weekend, Hamilton Olympic and Edgeworth is just starting to put a little bit of a gap on 3rd and 4th place as well. So
it'll be 6 points, the gap between the top 2 and the rest of the competition. It'll be Hamilton on 23, Edgeworth 22, and then Maitland back on 16, Broadmeadows 16, Charlestown 14, and then back to the rest. Lambton 8, Jets Youth 8, Valentine 8, Adamstown 7, and then Western 2. As here's Miners playing it towards Dylan Holtz. And this result won't really will not affect at all where Lambton sit, because their goal difference is brilliant compared to the other 2 sides on 8 points. Minus 10, the Jets Youth minus 10 and Valentine on minus 12. They're on minus 3 at the moment.
Yeah, however, Lambton, with the quality of the side they've got out there, they want to be in the top 4. So they're going to be disappointed in this result, a 3-0 loss. They had chances to score. However, to be honest, I think Edgeworth's been too good on the day.
Majorowski back towards Joe Wheelhouse. So into the final 7 minutes of regulation time sessions. Sense the game is beyond Lambton now, but you could grab a late consolation. Here's Sessions. And down towards Brent Hamill, who slips over on the clearance, and back for Wheelhouse.
I was just going to say, Brent Hamill defended brilliantly then, but he slipped over when he was clearing the ball.
As here is Joel Wood playing it into Dylan Holtz. McPherson. Now back for Joe Wheelhouse, intercepted by McLaughlin. And now Moriyasu. He's got his goal this afternoon, Kigo Moriyasu. Didn't score last match against Maitland, but back on the board again today for Edgeworth. Here is Williams away, but plays it straight to Moriyasu. So he got another one in him. He plays to McBreen, and Williams with a good tackle.
A great tackle by Williams. McBreen was there looking for his 3rd goal this season, but Williams just pinched it off his foot.
Remington down the left now. Wheeler after him. And over just for the goal kick for Edgeworth. Now it's going to be a corner. So the ball has come off Pat Wheeler last.
I'd like to give Pat Wheeler and Don Bazzario a rap today. They've been very solid at the back for Edgeworth, especially Pat Wheeler. He's won every ball he needed to, and he's been playing out well from the back as well. Very calm on the ball.
And Jim Fogarty in goals. He deserves a clean sheet this afternoon for some of the saves he has made.
Yeah,
Michael
for sure.
Sessions with a great shot a moment ago. Here's the ball straight to Bren Hamill off the corner. He plays it up looking for Moriyasu. Plays it back to Hamill. Moriyasu back to Bren Hamill again. Playing 1-2s over and over. Moriyasu are now coming from behind.
I know we've got 5 minutes to go, but I'd say Brent Hamill or Moriyasu have been probably the two standouts for Edgeworth today. It's going to be hard to split who's going to be a man of the match.
Bren Hamill and Moriyasu, maybe they might have to split it. Joint man of the match award. We'll see if that can change in the last 5 minutes. Goal to either. Here's Moriyasu. You don't get a better view than this. Another good spot for him, but not the best. The other side would be preferable to Moriyasu compared to this side. Just doesn't have that angle of... Here he is, Moriyasu. This time he goes towards Aiden Bryce, whose header was down. Didn't go for goal there. And probably the right choice too, curling it to...
I think Aiden Bryce was very unlucky there. I think Swanee just kicked it into him. But even there with Aiden Bryce, he went for the head. He probably could have went for the volley, actually. It was down around knee height.
Here's Joel Wood pushing McLaughlin away there. See if it was a game of rugby league. Got out the fend. Here is Reece Tippett now. Tippett in towards the middle. Pat Wheeler again at the back. He's going to be a big loss for them next week in the FFA Cup, but Josh Evans comes back into the side.
Yeah, Josh Evans is a quality player.
You just think about this side. Gee, they've got a strong side, haven't they, Edgeworth? Players that are sitting on the bench. Here's McBreen to flex. And over for a corner kick. Josh Evans not here today. Dylan Holt starting on the bench this afternoon.
Yeah, they've got players galore with a lot of talent, Edgeworth. So, obviously, Josh Evans is I think he's their captain, isn't he, Josh Evans?
Yep.
So, obviously, he's going to slot straight back in. But Bazari and...
I'm thinking it'll
Pat
just
Wheeler.
be a straight swap. Pat Wheeler out and then Josh Evans will slot in at centre back.
Yeah, that's right. So, but overall, Damien Zane would have to be happy with his size performance today.
Here's the corner. Hayden Gardner with a touch. Away to Dylan Holtz. Goes all the way back to Bazari. To Wheeler now. They got another one in them, Edgeworth. Aiden Bryce. Down the line. Bren Hamill. Into, I thought, the arm of Sessions. Sessions this time clears it up the ground for Lambton. Bryce to Miners.
This is where the young legs are starting to really get on top these last 15 minutes. They're quite mobile in midfield.
I'm just trying to think the changes Lambton have made. But here is Moriyasu.
This could seal him for man of the match.
Here he is, Moriyasu. Comes to Swancott and Moriyasu does it again. It's 4-0. And he is going up the leaderboard for leading goal scorer this season. He's up to 8. And Kane Goodchild didn't get one this afternoon.
Yeah, that was a great finish. It was well worked play by Edgeworth. So, unfortunately for Brent Hamill, I'm going to probably have to go for Moriyasu for man of the match. Brent Hamill's had a great game. Actually, most of Edgeworth's players have been fantastic today, but Brent Hamill, very solid on the right-hand side, but Moriyasu scores 2 goals, and we'll have to give him player of the match.
Well, just the one-on-one there with Swancott, that's twice now, and he does it so easily. He makes it look so easy.
That's right, and normally that's Brett Swancott's strongest part. One-on-ones, he's very agile, he's got good reflexes, but Moriyasu made it look easy.
Here's Bren Hamill. Can they really rub some salt into the wound? As we've got a card coming out against Pete McPherson.
And I must say, Connor Moore had a tremendous game today. I know he's off on the bench at the moment, but he's been very solid. Scored a great goal, great individual brilliant goal. So he's been another standout today.
You're sounding a bit like Ned Zelich saying individual brilliance. Bit of individual brilliance.
People used to say I played like Ned Zelich as well.
Here is Moriyasu again on the free kick. Here's Moriyasu towards the back post. Aiden Gardner was there. And over for goal kick for Lambton. into the last 30 seconds of regulation time. Just going through those other scores, Hamilton and Maitland at 1-1 at full time, and Adamstown, the result of the afternoon and probably of the round, Adamstown with a 3-3 draw against Broadmeadow Magic at home, which actually brings them up to 11 goals. So Lambton with the equal with second worst attack in the competition. So just being able to finish their chances, I think that's been their issue.
True. Even just there on Edgeworth, Daniel McBreen, he's nearly 50 years old. He's chased the ball down in the 90th minute. Even though they're up 4-0, he's chased down the defender and forced him to kick the ball out. So that's the true dedication and commitment of the Edgeworth players.
The ball back for Swancott. It goes across to Kevin Davidson. The back end here for Lambton. They salvage something late into the back of Aidan Gardner. Reese Tippett after it. Now McLaughlin. Down the line, Moriyasu. Miners. To Moriyasu. Stepping it forward, and Brent Hamill's through. He's in on goal, Brent Hamill. Swancott slips over. Hamill slips over. Williams gets back. Hamill spins around, and Brent Hamill finishes. And it's 5-0. And Edgeworth are piling on the pain late.
Yeah, Hamill did well there. He's just persistent and got the goal. Looking at, I just mentioned before, Moriyasu scoring the goal to get him over for player of the match, but it's hard to take it off Brent Hamill as well. He's been a standout today.
So 5-0. How often have Edgeworth done this? They've up 1-0. Well, they scored early in the second half, made it 2-0, but then in the last 15 minutes, three goals they've piled on.
And that's what we talk about, young legs. They're still running in the 90th minute. Even McBreen, who's nearly 50 years old, is still running in the 90th minute. They're a very fit and mobile side.
And James Pascoe, this is the roster he's been given, so I think in the off-season, he'll be looking to get some younger players out there, I think, for Lambton.
Yeah, Jimmy's a quality coach, and, he's been assistant at the Jets, and I think, he just needs to combine a few young boys with some of the experienced boys in the Lambton outfit, and they can be a real threat.
So played in the back of Brent Hamill as Pete McPherson coming in again.
Bit of frustration there from Pete McPherson.
Pat Wheeler got cleaned up by Pasquale in the first half, who has played no further part after what looked to be an injury midway through this half. Probably precautionary from Damien Zane going into next week's matches. McLaughlin with the header away. This actually would only be Edgeworth's second clean sheet of the season if they kept Edgeworth scoreless this afternoon. Kept a lot of sides to 1, but only Western they've kept scoreless.
That's surprising, actually, because they've been a really solid outfit. But in saying that, Lambton's had some chances today, and they've been one-on-one with the keeper.
And that is full time, so Edgeworth, a dominant performance over the Lambton Jaffas in the match of the round this afternoon. It was Edgeworth 5, Lambton 0, and Damien, Edgeworth just showing us why they are up there and probably up there with Hamilton as favourites for the title.
Oh, definitely. Edgeworth were very impressive today. Like we said before in the call, they're young, they're mobile, they work hard for 90 minutes. They've got some quality players. Some of the standouts today was Moriyasu, who we gave man of the match. Brent Hamill, he only pipped Brent Hamill by just a nose, scored 2 goals. Carney Moore was integral in that number 10 role. Jenny McBreen worked his butt off for the 90 minutes, but their back line was also great with Aidan Bryce, Pat Wheeler, Bazari, and Aaron McLaughlin.
I was going to ask you, actually, you gave the man of the match to Moriyasu after he scored his second, and then Brent Hamill scored a second.
That's right. So if I could go back, I'd split it. However, I'm going to give it to Moriyasu. He's been a standout today. He nearly scored a third, hitting the post, but he's only by a nasal hair pipped Brent Hamill.
So what a performance from Edgeworth this afternoon. Just quickly, Damien, before we go, we're at Magic Park on Wednesday night. Broadmeadow Magic at home to the Maitland Magpies. Just a quick thought on that one. It'll be a very, very close contest.
Oh, that's going to be a very close contest. It's going to be crucial for both sides' aspirations for getting the minor premiership.
And Maitland have had an outstanding defence this year. Broadmeadow an outstanding attack. So that's where I think it's going to be really intriguing.
Oh, that's right. So I'm looking forward to the game. A night game. It's going to be a very fast game. Bit of dew on the pitch. So yeah, looking forward to that game immensely.
All right, so full time here this afternoon at Jack McLaughlin Oval. It finished Edgeworth 5, Lambton 0.